Hey, what is up guys? My name is Apexx, and I am back with more of the all-new Razer Blade 2015. I just recently did an unboxing video, and got quite a bit of feedback telling me that I should do a full review on the laptop, as there still doesn't seem to be much coverage out there anywhere on the web. So I'm going to start this video off by talking about what is different about this model coming from the last model in 2014. On the outside, there's essentially no change, which in this case is a good thing, as in my opinion this is one of the nicest designs for a thin and light laptop on the market. The Blade still has minimal I/O, being the 3 USB 3.0 ports, 1 HDMI 1.4 port, a headphone microphone combo jack, and a Kensington lock, and of course the power jack. Moving to the keyboard and mouse, you're getting a full keyboard without a numpad, with all the appropriate key sizing except when it comes to the miniature arrow keys. The size of the arrow keys renders them essentially useless for gaming. However, I never use the arrow keys in gaming anyway, so this did not bother me in the slightest. The keys have a natural tactile feel, that although the key travel distance does feel slightly shorter than other laptop keyboards I've used, they do feel pretty good in the hand. The mouse pad on the Blade is made of glass and has a standalone left and right click buttons, which is something I value highly, as I never have come across an integrated mouse pad setup that I've actually liked. The closest being probably the MacBook Pro, but even then I still didn't like that one. The accuracy is fantastic, as this is the only mousepad I've ever actually been able to play certain games on without feeling completely disadvantaged for doing so. Also, the gestures in Windows 8 work very well alongside normal use of the laptop. The next aspects that many people wonder about on all premium laptops are the speakers and the screen quality. The best way to describe the speakers on the Blade are adequate. They do get quite loud, and now that the Razer Blade has had some tweaking done to the software side of things, the Dolby Digital 7.1 surround-capable speakers do give a crisp and clear sound while unsurprisingly lacking bass. Most definitely due to the size of the chassis, this is expected. The biggest advantage of the speakers, however, are that they do overpower the sometimes loud noise of the fans when under heavy loads. Now moving on to the more important part. The screen on the 2015 Blade has once again carried over from its 2014 predecessor. Now on this model, it has a fantastic 3200 by 1800 Quad HD Plus with 10-point multi-touch display, and is definitely one of the Blade's strong suits. It is a fantastic screen for content creators, gamers, and even normal users. Window scaling has gotten much better over the past year, making everyday tasks on the Blade much more user-friendly as well. This is a 60Hz display that is 101.5% color accurate according to the RGB color scale, making it fantastic for amateur photo editors and video editors, and overkill for the on-the-go gamer. The best part of this display being brought back on the 2015 Blade is that with the all-new 970M inside, this beast is able to play even the newest games at very high settings at the native resolution without breaking a sweat. Overall, the new panel on the Razer Blade 2015 is fantastic for both gaming and content creation, as well as media and web browsing. The only thing that I can say negative about this display is, even at extreme viewing angles, you will see some slight changes in color as well as shading across the screen. However, it's so minuscule that my camera is actually not even able to pick it up and show you guys a specific example of it. So speaking of the new graphics chip, this is not the only new addition to the Blade. The internals have all been upgraded from last year's model. This particular model is housing an i7-4720 HQ quad-core with hyperthreading that's clocked at 2.6 GHz with a boost clock of 3.6 GHz. As mentioned before, it also has a GTX 970M with 3 GB of VRAM, 16 GB of system RAM, which is a double from last year, and 256 GB Light-On SSD, which is a change from the Samsung of last year. All of this is being cooled by a dual-fan hinge exhaust system that keeps the machine within tolerable temperature levels even under the heaviest of loads. This brings me to the most important part of the review, its gaming performance. I only downloaded a few games to test due to the size constraints of the 256 GB SSD and the need to have more room for other content. The first game I ran through was World of Warcraft. While running this game at max settings without anti-aliasing at the native resolution of 3200 by 1800, I was able to achieve an average frame rate of 48 FPS within a major city. Also note that the minimum FPS never dropped below 40. The next game I ran through was Battlefield 4, once again at max settings without anti-aliasing at the native res. I was able to achieve an average frame rate of 42 FPS without the minimum frame rate dropping below 34. This was tested on a 64-man Conquest server and was also populated. And the final game I was testing is called Subnautica. This is an early access game on Steam that is running on the Unity engine. I was able to set the game to max at the native res and achieve an average frame rate of 37 FPS and a minimum frame rate that never dropped below 30 FPS. Keeping in mind that this is an early access game and is not optimized yet at all. All in all, gaming on the Blade is extremely enjoyable even at its native resolution. In conclusion, this year's iteration of the Razer Blade is by far the most impressive and enjoyable experience I've ever had on a laptop. For those of you looking for a no-compromise, thin and light gaming laptop in a premium aluminum chassis, look no further. That is, as long as you're okay with the roughly $2,500 price tag for the 256 gig version of this model. But in my opinion, the Razer Blade definitely makes a great effort in proving its worth, even if it does fall short some of the time. But that's it for this one, guys. I hope you enjoyed my review of the Razer Blade 2015. If you can, please don't forget to subscribe, and I will see you in the next one.